If you have a quarter from the year 1965, we're going to show you what can make these coins extremely rare and valuable. First up here is a 1965 quarter. You can see it looks very stretched out around the rim of the coin. This is what is known as a broad strike, so it is a mint era coin. This coin ended up selling for $192 at auction. Next up is a 1965 quarter that has double curved clips. So you can kind of see this one very small above the B in Liberty, and then on the right side down there by the Y in Liberty, you can see a larger clip there. So that actually adds value to the quarter. This quarter is a very common date, but because of those clips, the coin sold for over $60 at auction. Next up is something you really want to inspect your coins for. This is what is known as a doubled die obverse, and we're going to show you a few different examples. So what you want to look for is doubling on the lettering of the coin, on the word Liberty, on the phrase "In God We Trust," and even on the date 1965 itself. There are a couple different examples to look for there. Now, first up is this 1965 double die obverse quarter graded at a 58 that ended up selling for $360. Now, this next coin is actually in worse condition, 3 grades lower, but sold for $575. So why is that? Same exact double die, but worse condition, sold for more money. Well, it also depends on the time in which you sell the coin. How many are on the market? What's the demand for this particular coin? You know, all those things can affect the value. Now, here is a much higher graded version of this error. So a 1965 double die obverse Washington quarter graded at a 65. This coin sold for $720. So a big difference in values there based on the condition of the coin, when the coin sells, and all those things, right? So if you guys want some free silver, click that link in the comments below, sign up today, download the Whatnot app. I'm giving away a ton of free silver coins. It's literally free silver. All you have to do is click that link in the comments below. I'm live every single Tuesday and Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, only on the Whatnot app. So once you download the app, you get the $15 off your very first purchase. You can purchase coins, purses, shoes, whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be from my stream. It's all up to you of how you use your $15 credit. And then you can continue to come into my streams every Tuesday and Friday night, and you can get in on the free giveaways. You don't even have to buy anything to get in on the giveaways. You just have to be watching live. So hit that link in the comments below and get your free $15 credit today. So let's move on here to 2 quarters that sold together. 2 1965 quarters. One has an obverse die break, and the other has been broad struck out of collar, also with an obverse die break. So I think this kind of speaks for itself as well. We've looked at all kinds of different die breaks and die chips and stuff throughout our other coin videos. So these 2 coins sold together for $180. Next up is a 1965 quarter that sold for over $11,000. Now, the only reason that this quarter sold for that much money is because of its condition. It does not have any mint errors. There's nothing wrong with this quarter. It just has the very top grade for this particular dated coin. Now, mint state 68 is 2 grades away from a perfect 70 grade, but if there's only one of these 1965 quarters that have been graded at a 68, or 2 or 3, less than a handful, and the rest are, you know, under a 68, then the top collectors are going to want the ones that are graded at a 68. So they're going to, you know, duke it out in the auction and pay big bucks to have the top graded quarter in their collection. That's why the coin sold for over $11,000. Now, if you could just go 2 grades lower, this is the same exact dated coin, but it's graded at a 66 instead of a 68. You go from $11,000 coin to a $30 coin. So 1 grade or 2 grades can make a tremendous difference in values, especially on common dated coins like this. Moving on to a 1965 SMS Washington quarter. Now, this is a quarter that you will find in the 1965 SMS sets. So if you guys have any of those, you can look for different types of errors, not just noticeable ones like this. The coin was struck 10% off center, and the coin sold for around $160. Moving on to a 1965 quarter that was struck onto a 10-cent thickness planchet. So It only weighs 4.2 grams. This coin ended up selling for $66 at auction, graded at a 58. Now this next quarter sold for $360. 1965 Washington quarter that was struck onto a 10-cent planchet. The whole design does not fit onto this planchet. It only weighs 2.3 grams, $360 for that coin. Now we have a 1965 quarter that was struck onto a Jefferson nickel planchet, 5-cent planchet here, graded by PCGS. This coin sold for nearly $350 at auction, and again the whole design being cut off there because of it being on a nickel planchet. Now this next quarter sold for nearly $6,000 at auction, and that's because in 1965 that was the first year that they started making clad quarters. In 1964 they made 90% silver quarters. So somehow when this coin was being minted, when it was being created, a 1965 die came down and struck a 90% silver planchet. So this is actually a silver coin, and it's not supposed to be silver. So the planchets that they used the year prior in 1964 is probably what happened here, right? I mean, that's what we would assume. 1965 was struck onto a 90% silver planchet that they used in the previous year. So this coin ended up selling for nearly $6,000 because of that. Here's another SMS special mint set quarter from 1965. And the reason that this coin is valuable is because it is graded at a 68, a specimen 68 cameo. This coin ended up selling for over $2,600. Now, if you compare that to an SMS quarter from 1965 that is graded at a 66, 2 grades lower, this coin only sold for $160. So $160, big difference from $2,600. Now here is an SMS quarter that does have a mint error. It was actually struck through a string. So you can kind of see that cross going through Washington's head there. That is a strike through error that adds value to the quarter. This coin ended up selling for $228. So always inspect your coins closely out there, guys, and don't forget, if you guys want any coin deals or coin collecting supplies, the link is below this video in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.